I come from haunts of coot and hern. I make a sudden sally, and sparkle out among the fern, to bicker down a valley. By 30 hills I hurry down, or slip between the ridges. By 20 thorps, a little town, and 100 bridges. Till last by Philip's farm I flow, to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I chatter over stony ways, in little sharps and trebles. I bubble into eddying bays, I babble on the pebbles. With many a curve my banks I fret, by many a field and fallow, and many a fairy foreland set, with willow weed and mallow. I chatter, chatter as I flow, to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I wind about and in and out, with here a blossom sailing, and here and there a lusty trout, and here and there a grayling, and here and there a foamy flake, upon me as I travel, with many a silver water break above the golden gravel, and draw them all along and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I steal by lawns and grassy plots, I slide by hazel covers. I move the sweet forget-me-nots that grow for happy lovers. I slip, I slide, I gloom, I glance among my skimming swallows. I make the netted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. I murmur under moon and stars in brambly wildernesses. I linger by my shingly bars, I loiter round my cresses. And out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. So welcome back. Lisa and I really enjoyed that short trip to Crater Lake with our friends. What an awesome place. If you haven't been to Crater Lake, that's a place you definitely want to put on your bucket list. Crater Lake is actually the deepest freshwater lake in the United States. Really cool spot, definitely worth visiting. So today I'm back at the homestead, and it's now that we've got the base completed for the 2,500 gallon storage tank for the water, it's time to get started on the replacement of my well system. As I mentioned before, this well system is 30 years old, and the components inside the well house are definitely showing their age, as well as evidence of maintenance neglect over the years. So I've decided I'm going to replace the entire system, from the submersible well pump, which again is over 30 years old, to the pressure tank, the control unit, the filtration systems. There's iron in this water, so there's an iron filtration system in the house. And then, of course, I'm going to, because we installed this 2,500 gallon storage tank, the system has been engineered in a different way than the original system, so I've got to have a booster pump out here to pull water out of that tank. So bottom line, this is going to be a major project that we'll lay out over several videos. Again, everything is going to be replaced. I'm even going to rewire this system. Right now it's a 12 AWG wire that feeds the electrical system in the well house. And even that, it's about 150 feet to the power source. That is not really adequate even for the existing system. You can see voltage drops when you do certain pump testing. So I'm going to rewire that with 8WG. That'll be more than sufficient for what I need in the well house, and also to feed this additional, the power for this additional motor that I'm going to put out here. So anyway, that's what's coming. I just noticed something that I did not notice before that's going to throw a bit of a kink into this whole process, at least the process of me doing this by myself. And I'll show you what that is. Okay, so everything in here looks like it's pretty simple to disassemble, of course. It's just PVC that is the main plumbing inside. Pretty easy connections. Again, breakers here. Super easy to break down. But I just noticed, so this is the wellhead. Coming out of the wellhead is this piece right here, which is galvanized pipe. So that is my kink. Okay, so galvanized pipe was pretty typical to use back in the day for well pipe, and is still used today for deeper wells, especially wells that exceed 200 feet, 200, 300, 400, 500 feet. It's pretty typical to use galvanized pipe. But for the wells that are up to 150 feet, it seems like it's pretty commonplace to use poly pipe, polybutylene piping for wells at that depth. So that's what I'm going to replace this with, is a flexible polybutylene pipe, which is a lot lighter, a lot easier to use, a lot easier to install and pull out, I believe. So back to the kink. That galvanized pipe, 120 feet of it, is extremely heavy. So I've got to figure out how to get that out of the well. And I'm hoping that the pipe is in 10-foot runs. It's very likely that it's going to be in 20-foot runs, but either way, it won't be 120 feet of galvanized pipe, obviously. There'll be connections. So I've got to come up with a system to remove this pipe. And I've watched some other videos and did a little research, and I think I've got an idea. As I mentioned in a previous video, I'm going to take down this entire well house and rebuild it proper. It's just plywood on the outside, exposed plywood. So what I'm going to do is take this roof off, and you see I've got the beams supporting this roof right now. Across those beams, I'm going to put a steel rod or a pipe, basically. And then what I'll do is I'll attach, I thought about using a come-along, but I'm going to actually get an electric hoist and mount that electric hoist, and then drop that into my, down to my galvanized well pipe, use a piper's loop to attach to that galvanized pipe, and then use a safety wrench to go below that piper's knot, so that if that knot were to break or lose its grip, the pipe would fall and that safety wrench would catch that fall. So the idea is to hoist that pipe straight out, hopefully 10 feet at a time, and be able to disconnect it with pipe wrench. Or if it is 20 feet, then it is what it is. I don't have a tree growing over this of any substance anyway. I've got some branches that come out over the roof here, but it should be okay. So I think that system is going to work just fine. Obviously, it's the first 50 feet of this pipe that are the hardest, because you're pulling all of it. As I take more and more pipe off, it'll get lighter and lighter. The pipe will have water in it, so that's additional weight as I'm pulling it out. I have to be concerned about the disconnection of the pieces. If I can't disconnect them with a pipe wrench, then I'm going to have to cut the pipe with, my Sawzall. The concern with cutting the pipe is you don't want those metal fragments to drop back into the well and then ultimately get sucked up in your new well pump. So I've got to figure that out. Again, I will have a backup plan for that. Some kind of topside filtration if I do end up using a Sawzall to cut this pipe. So that I was not expecting. Now I know why the well companies charge so much money to come out and pull these old wells. It really is quite a project. But again, not one that you should be afraid of. This can definitely be done by the homeowner, by yourself or with a friend. I'm going to do it by myself, so you're going to see how I do that. All right, stay tuned.